So the Strategic Social Investment Team assists companies to be more strategic about their community development initiatives and really ensure that these initiatives achieve the maximum developmental impact that's desired. Exxaro is an interesting case study for us because really it was driven by the tone at the top. Exxaro as an organization is really committed to development. Business success and growth must be coupled with sustainable and empowered communities. That is their philosophy, and therefore, having done social and labor plan initiatives for the past 5 years, so from 2008 to 2012, they really wanted to understand what was working, what wasn't working, how much impact that created, if they created any at all, in order then to inform future social and labor plans. They've got a new social and labor plan coming in 2013 to 2017, so it was in their interest to make sure that before they spent the money, they spent quite a lot, they wanted to make sure that they incorporate the lessons learned from their previous social and labor plans. So what we did was we first got a collective initiatives across their themes. So they invest in 6 key areas: education, enterprise development, skills development, infrastructure, agriculture and environment, and health and welfare. So we selected 21 initiatives across those themes to make sure that we got a broad coverage of everything that they did. And we used a social return on investment methodology, which is basically a stakeholder-centric methodology which looks into the value that you're creating from the perspective of each stakeholder that's receiving the benefits. And the strength of the methodology is that it gives you both the narrative and the ratio. So you can understand qualitatively what the story of change was, but you can actually also put a number to it and say, for each R1 that I invested, this was what society got back in rand terms. So Exxaro's weighted average return on investment, which is across all the 21 initiatives, was 1.32. which means for every R1 that Exxaro invested, the society got back 1.32 back. Exxaro has done incredibly well, considering that this was the first SLP cycle, by achieving 32% above their investment. First thing that the industry can learn really is there is a need to acknowledge the different agendas for the 3 key stakeholders in development. And those 3 key stakeholders would be community, government, and companies. The communities understand success in community development as their well-being being enhanced and them living positively functioning as individuals within their household and within the local economy. Government, on the other hand, has got a clear mandate from citizens to deliver public service delivery, and as far as they're concerned, if that's delivered, that's success. Mining companies, on the other hand, have got a license to mine, have got to maintain their license to mine through compliance and also through social license by maintaining positive relationships with their stakeholders. So all of these 3 agendas do compete, at some point conflict with each other, And sometimes you'd find that if you measured success through the lens of one of these stakeholders, it won't necessarily bring cohesion amongst the three parties, and therefore there's a need to move into a midpoint where all three parties need to actually reshape, collaborate to actually shape meaningfully what that midpoint looks like. It is difficult, but it's necessary. And from an individual mind perspective, there's a need to realize that compliance alone doesn't get you there. It will tick the box from a legal perspective. It might tick the box from a government perspective because you've helped them deliver public service. But if the lives of the people on the ground have not changed, you'd be in a losing scenario, and you'd still hear commentary that mining houses are doing nothing despite the investments that are being made. So there's a need, therefore, to move towards creating meaningful value, and the easiest way for mining houses to do that is to focus on real initiatives that benefit business and society mutually, because that is easier for business. And so as we move towards shared value, as mining house moves towards shared value, I think they're most likely to start seeing the benefits. So collectively, the industry must build trust through engagement and collaboration. I know this is the current rhetoric, but I don't see any other way. By that we mean there needs to be more of a shift from a top-down approach to a bottom-up approach, where really community vision for development is done by the community themselves. You can have a community of stakeholders, which includes communities plus business plus government, but business and government would really come in as strategic advisors to the community, but community must really shape their vision, and the development strategy for the area should then emanate from that vision. And how that will then influence the industry is that the regulatory environment might have to change to align to the community vision that's been set from the ground. And also there's a need then to move away from metrics by the regulator that are mediocre, to actually measuring the outcomes and the impacts on the ground, and requiring that of mining companies when SLPs are being reported. From a KPMG perspective, we will be engaging with the Department of Minerals and Resources to share the case study together with Exxaro, to share our learning and just brainstorm if some of these findings can really help what is being done currently by the industry.